You only get in your mall. Actually, we are right now staying in Germany. Coming here from Germany. Oh, you are in Germany, yeah. Obviously, we are from India, but we are doing work in Germany.
Where in Germany?
In Saarland, Saarbrücken.
It's near France.
There are difficult customers in Germany. I wonder how it is to live in that country.
Maybe you should try and find.
Yeah, not at all.
Next time I will tell them.
I always find it really hard to make Germans laugh.
Yeah, but we are not German by origin, so we can laugh.
I know, but still, like, you have to work with
But
them,
they
right?
say like when the German is your
What are you
friend,
saying?
it stays longer.
I don't know if that's a good thing. It just sounds like you can't get rid of them. Especially on this boat, like, I'm here to entertain, I have to give people drinks, I'm trying my ass off. So. But then you have to shit that makes no sense to me. Like, one next drink, that's €3. Super fun. I'm like, really, man? I'm tap dancing here for fucking nothing. That's the Holocaust world, by the way. Yeah. So you see how we work with this? Like, I make you laugh and I make you cry. It's really great. Yeah. Which is really, really well done, by the way. And they had like all the names of the families that are missing. But the depressing part is there's a lot of empty names still because they're still finding the names of people that never made it back, basically. But we're going to go from the very poor area to the very rich area. In 2 seconds, you're going to see the difference of the buildings right away. Okay. Oh no, before we started. Right?
We have seats. No worries.
Thank you.
Oh, this is the bridge, like you can like colossal bridge.
In the 17th century, right? So you can see the houses are very, very different. They don't have to worry about the tax, so the house is nice and broad. You have the very typical stairs, so of course if you're rich, you have the stairs.
These were merchant house?
Oh, these were like, no, fuck that. Marshalls? Are you kidding me? This is like,
No, 17th century Marshall house like that.
no, not really. These were already like upper class in the 17th century.
Okay.
And so, of course, if you're rich, you go up the stairs. If you're poor, you go down. If you don't pay your taxes, the government comes and takes your stairs away. So you can't get in your house. But see those windows? That was a huge show-off in the 17th century.
Okay.
Because there was a tax on the windows. Not on the size of the windows, but on the number of windows. So he did that on purpose.
To increase the number.
Yeah. He's like, because of course there was no Bentleys and Rolex, so he's like, look at all the fucking windows on me. You know what I mean? And now the people that live here, mostly it's like big businesses, it's like Booking.com and Over there you have the Rolling Stones office, you can see the little logo and the, see on the copper thing. But there are still some families, like see this little chick right over there who likes to live in that house? Has more money than I've ever dreamed of, basically. But people now like to show their wealth by putting their very expensive cars in front of these buildings. And they never learn from their mistakes. Because like the trees are small, right? But when I moved here, the trees were huge. But every year there's a windy season. It just happened like 4 or 5 months ago. 4 people died, so it's like, it's a thing.
Because of wind.
And because all the trees fall over. And they always hit the most expensive car. Every time. There's a video this year of a woman biking in the wind for some reason, and a tree starts to fall towards her, stops in midair, and then fucks up a Bentley. Really funny. And then you're there with your 5-year-old bike, and he's crying his eyes off, and you're like, I mean, look. Next to the tree. How dumb are you? And it's kind of funny because it's only on one side because the wind always comes from a direction, so these trees are still the original
these are pretty big. These windows.
This is the most expensive hotel in Amsterdam, by the way.
This one?
It's the Waldorf Astoria.
Oh my god.
This is the most expensive one.
Waldorf Astoria.
Okay, yeah, no, it's written the Waldorf.
That's just the main entrance, but it's the whole thing.
But how
The
much?
thing is, initially he wanted to make it one color, but you're not allowed to change anything on these buildings. Like even to put flowers in the window, like the queen has to say which is not going to happen. So he wanted to make it one whole color, but But at the same time, it's like at least $900 a night.
Oh my god.
Per night, 900.
It's now or now it's 900.
Yeah, I think so.
Hello, can you please change this? I don't want zero sugar.
Yep, gotcha. So we're going to see a bunch of these little floating gardens that you have a lot in Amsterdam. Like over there, you have these metal constructions, and the Dutch are being very clever about that. So they're putting plants and arts. See the one with the sticks, and we're going to see some of the plants are going to go on top of that. They're not actually floating gardens.
These are floating gardens.
Basically, the oceans are starting to rise very slightly, so the Dutch are trying to pump more water out of the ground. So it's all like sand and mud. But that means the sand is going, that means that the soil is going down as the oceans are going up. So that balance is really, really tricky. So they're even flooding places on purpose now with the country on the road to maintain the water balance. So last year in COVID, the whole sidewalk, for no reason, just whoosh into the water. So they're trying to do in fact, they're trying like 70 other places, so it's costing like 50 million. So the nuclear is so much, what they would do normally to build these houses, they go to Germany, chop down some trees, and then shove about 40 of them into the ground. All the way down. Then they build a foundation, then they build a house.
Just like Venice,
But if they hit air, the water's fine. If they hit air, the wood starts to rot real quick, and then you get the shit like number 28.
It went down,
See how the ground's like that?
Yeah.
So initially, you have to think the floor was also like that. So they, instead of tearing it down and rebuilding, they renovate. And if anything, they make you pay more for a house like that. And I used to live in a house like that with the floors like this. It sucks. You feel like you're drunk all the time. You drop an apple, it just goes. And even my roommate at the time, his floor was even more fucked than mine. And he got an IKEA bed. He had to cut off 2 of the things on both sides. So then his bed was like this. This is the 7 bridges, by the way. So you should have said that earlier. Sorry. Between that one and all the other ones, normally Amsterdam is all in half circle, so you can only see like 2 or 3 bridges at the same time. This is the only angle where you can see all 7 bridges, which is very romantic. Okay, whether you like it or not.
আচ্ছা চারদিকে 7টা ব্রিজ দেখা যাবে একটা দুটো
Very kind, thank you.
Haribo. So you have no plan to go back to USA? No.
I haven't been there since I was 18. Moved to live in New York for a while.
এই বাড়িটাও
I
কাজ
know.
হয়ে গেছে
No, I'm fine. I mean, I'm 40 now. So I'm going to get married soon.
এই ক্যান্ডিটা পাস
Get
করো
a
না
house.
ক্যান্ডিটা পাস
And then we're going to chill.
So you are gonna married soon?
Yeah, well, I don't have a date yet, but I got engaged a couple of months ago. So we'll see.
All the best.
So this is, okay. A lot of people ask us about this, right? So this church right here is the last remaining wooden church of Amsterdam. Because initially, Amsterdam looked basically like this with the houses to put together, but a lot of it was built out of wood. And there was a big fire in the 14th century, and of course, with all the houses stuck together, one house burns, turns into. This is the last one, yeah, the last church. So this symbol actually represents the three catastrophes that Amsterdam survived in order to remain Amsterdam. So the fire in the 14th century is represented by the red, and it's the first cross. The plague, of course, killed 90% of Europe, is the black, and it represents the second one. And then the third X is the constant fight against water. Because now they have a pretty good system with it. Like you see the water slime, let's say. That's as much as the water will change in Amsterdam. You can never really change that because if it goes up too high, everything starts to flood. If it goes down too low, everything starts to fall apart because it gets too dry. But back in the day, it was a different story. So like there would be entire cities, villages at the time, right? And if the dike would break at night, the whole thing would flood and everyone would just die, basically. So, but even now, like in Dubai, for instance, the architects that are doing those amazing construction, they come to the Dutch architects to figure that shit out. Because even to this day, they're the best ones when it comes to like managing water and land and stuff. So now we're going to do some houseboats. We're going to show you the different kind of houseboats that you can live on. And I'm going to play a game with you. That's right, you. One of them has a celebrity nickname, and you're going to guess which celebrity nickname it is. So you can either go modern, you can go old school, which I think is cute. Then you have this one in the back. It's the metal one.
Houseboat.
Right? Which is not really a houseboat. It's made by an architect, and that one has a celebrity nickname. You're going to guess which celebrity.
In Bollywood? Hollywood?
Yeah, man! She's lying face down. She's famous for no reason. She's gonna pick it up.
That's a nice ass.
I get it.
But initially, like, it was only hippies that were living in the houses. So, like, these are like 100-year-old houses, right? And they have to be in good condition. So basically, you don't want you to move. So that's why most of the houseboats have a concrete base. Oh, by the way, this one, Street Dog. This one is really famous because Street Dog always used to rent this whole place out, basically. Because it was the hottest smoke in the hotels. So then we would come here and then pop away. And one time we smoked on top, and that was like, okay. Like the whole street had to be shut down. And then this was my favorite.
This is like
Something from Harry Potter. I love this one. This guy bought this 35 years ago for €1, which is 40 euro cents. It's like a transfer contract. And these contracts probably like And now just the spot around the boat, so not even with the boat, $800. And then you have to buy the boat. And actually, the next part that we're going to see, like I said, most of them are this now. You have better installation. You have the sewage system. You know what I mean? Back in the day, they were just like pooping a bucket and throwing it out the fucking window. And also, it doesn't move around. So, like for instance, if we decide to go fast, which we can't because it's illegal, and you live in a boat that can actually move, the whole thing starts to shake. Dishes go flying off, etc. So it's not really profitable to live like that anymore. And it's super expensive. And also, you know, since Corona, people can work at home, so less and less people are living in this kind of situation. Because they're like, yeah, well, for the price I'm paying for this, I can have something with 2 floors and a garden in Amsterdam North, you know? Yeah. And a lot of them are these chosen, they choose one person a year, and that one person has to renovate their boats. So they have to make the concrete base and everything. So it's like the worst lottery ever, because either you lose your house because it's too expensive, or you have to pay a shitload of money. I never saw anyone in this one before. Probably an Airbnb. Yeah, this one is legit. Because you can tell from the design on the inside that someone has been living here for a good 20 years. And this one is a very famous Dutch artist. And the art that he makes is the boat. And then this one is totally the illegal Airbnb. When we pass next to it, look inside and tell me that that's not an Airbnb. Come on. There's no spices or nothing in the kitchen. There's a fucking suitcase, come on. And everyone's like, you know what I mean? You don't do that in your house. That's bullshit. All the other ones are kind of like every pass by, they just close the curtains. I'm like, okay, that's legit. They live here.
But how much this Airbnb cost? Like per day?
God, I don't know. Well, it's, again, like I said, maybe it's legal, but I don't think it is.
Easily 400.
Yeah, maybe so, yeah.
400 per night?
Well, it's good business in Amsterdam, man.
Okay. I hear many tourists complain about it's so expensive. They search for a boat, they want to live on a boat during their stay in Amsterdam, but too expensive.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to show you. The little house in the middle of it, this little tiny box of a house, that's one of those one-room hotels. That's the most expensive one in Amsterdam. That's $900 a night. This one? Yeah. It's a hotel. Okay. That's $100
A single room.
এই মাঝখানে রুমটা
Because also it comes with your own private boat.
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ
And then they had the balls to go, yeah, but it includes breakfast. I'm like, yeah, for $900 it includes breakfast. And now we're going to pass under the Lovers Bridge. So no pressure, but it is customary that one must kiss one to love your boat. But the way to do it, the way to get to the place on the neighbor's side, that's a tribute to that life. So some versions say it's the daughters, some versions say it was the sisters, and some versions say it was the wife and the mistress. Because he used to walk an hour before the whole bridge system. He used to walk an hour to go from one to the other, which you do not do for your daughters or your. You make them come to your house, especially if you have some money, right? So anyway, he decided, I'm going to use my money and I'm going to make a bridge in Amsterdam and I'm going to put my name on the bridge. So he started building it from both sides, but it took years, of course, you know what I mean? And the winters are endless, and it cost a fortune. So after a couple of years, he ran out of money. So the middle part's missing. And the middle part was missing for a long time, too. So what they did is they put like these planks of wood in between, and so the first name of the bridge was the Magere Brug, which means the skinny bridge, and that's how people would cross. But it wasn't very fancy, it was kind of a shit name. The guy didn't get to put his name on it also because he didn't finish the bridge, so he just got screwed. And then the Dutch, in their good marketing, they noticed that when people would kind of cross at the same time, they kind of had to like hold on to each other and do like a bit of a dance or like a hug, and then to not fall into dirty water, right? So they're like, oh, that's beautiful. We're going to call it the Lovers Bridge. Because it's kind of like a dance or a hug. I'm like, clever. Do we have any fans of classical music while we're here, by any chance?
Yes, yes.
Opera. build it was a big problem. Because of course it's the old school restored city center of Amsterdam. And then they built this big like modern and so people were just they were even shouting on the street, stop the opera, and to this day they still kind of do the kind of paper. But then what they did is you'll see when you pass next to it, the building next to it is the government building for the town hall, with straight up ugly attic. So by the time they built the second building, everyone forgot about the first one. They were like, oh, okay, it's not great, but we need to cover that shit.
Which one is fake?
Yeah. Just a column.
I noticed it like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was looking in and I was like, it's weird because the way it looks, the decoration, it's a bit like store-ish.
Yeah.
And then we went around the corner and he pointed out, I was like, yeah, but there's no back to it. It's just like 1 meter deep.
Yeah.
But why did they make it?
I have no idea.
I think this is basically showing off. I mean, so the Dutch is so good with architecture.
I don't know. Or maybe it was a challenge. Like maybe you want to live in a house like this.
Yeah.
See, but they still made the decoration on the second floor.
Yes.
No, one thing is sure that the guys are funny actually.
That one has been empty for a long time. And I'm sure that costs a fortune. See how ugly that building is?
Yeah.
See, it's like it looks like a prison. Well, I mean, it's a government building, so it's kind of a prison.
Just looks like cement gun.
But this is the opera.
Yeah, I'm just saying, just at the moment, I don't like ballet that much.
Have you heard Under View here? Under View? Yeah.
Guy.
Yeah. He's very famous.
All over the world.
Yeah.
He's a multi-millionaire. Yeah, of course. But because Peroni was jobless, he started to complain that maybe he had to sell his house. Whatever.
Yeah, okay, so my pronunciation is not bad, I'm sorry.
I'm finished.
Yeah, fucked up, yeah, okay.
That is the most expensive house for Amsterdam, by the way.
Which one? This one?
The black one. It's on the market now for 1.4 million. It was on the market 2 years ago for 1.7. And it was the boat of a very, very famous Dutch poet. But he was from Rotterdam and Amsterdam. So when he came to Amsterdam, he was usually like Johnny Cash kind of a man. Always dressed in black and other. And he was really known for always being really high on coke, speed, and alcohol. So he couldn't drive to his performances. He was not allowed to drive to his performances. But you're allowed to drive a boat. It's not that sweet. So that's why he had that one, and the little one behind it. He's dead now, of course. But yeah, so if you want to buy a house for 1.4 million, I expect an invitation for the housewarming party, and I'm going to steal. Oh, then you have a beautiful view. If you're going to take photos of those guys. This is one of the most iconic views of Amsterdam. All these, you can't really tell from this angle, but when we're smack in front of it, you're going to see that these buildings are completely twisted. But of course, marketing with Dutch, they don't call it, they call them the dancing houses. Because they go, no, they're not twisted. They're dancing to the music of the city. Yeah, they're super twisted. And the only one that's standing straight is the Irish pub.
Hello. Can you take a picture? Yeah.
Yeah, these were super tasted. আর দুটোর মাঝে গ্যাপটাকে কালো ইয়ে দিয়ে ভরে দিয়েছে।
আরে এরা আর্কিটেকচারে থ্যাঙ্কস আ লট।
এটা লিস্টটা কি রকম ব্যাকা।
হ্যাঁ, এই মাঝের বিল্ডিংটা পুরো হেলে গেছে দুখানা বিল্ডিং এ।
Irish pub.
মাঝে দুটো দামি বিল্ডিং করে দিয়েছে।
এবার আমাদের ওইদিকে ইউনিক আর্কিটেকচার গুলো গুড উইথ আর্কিটেকচার। এমনি ইউরোপিয়ান
বাইরেটাকে টিকিয়ে রেখে দিয়েছে কোনো রকম। আমাদের মাঝের হাট পেজের মতো ছোট করে